Hello, hello, and welcome to Tapping Tuesday. My name is Fable, and for the next hour, I'm going to be here with you doing EFT, which stands for Emotional Freedom Techniques, also known as tapping. Tapping. So if you've seen this, then you're in the right place if that's what you're looking for. I'm going to give a quick rundown of how this hour goes, and then we will jump right into tapping. So EFT is really, really great to regulate the nervous system, to help the body assimilate and let go of overwhelm, of trauma, of things that you worry about happening that never actually do. And that can be past, present, or future. It works with the subconscious brain. And that's as much of the depth of what it does that I'm going to get into on here because one, we have a channel where you can go, we have literally hundreds of videos where you can learn about the science. You can also get in touch with us via email to answer questions on that. But as wonderful as it is to hear about how effective EFT is, experiencing it is really, really different in a really important way. The science behind it is really validating and can help you feel more confident in trying it, but actually experiencing the fact that you can have a shift within a matter of minutes is a different kind of a thing. So that's why we go live every week to give you that opportunity, whether you're very new to it or it's something you've been doing for forever. We just want to have a community to allow people to come together and have a healing experience that's also connective because it's something that we all deserve to have, right? Okay, so the way it works is I have a live chat going the whole time. I will check that as often as I can to see what suggestions you might have. There's a couple of different ways that you can participate. All of them are perfectly acceptable and desired. So, whatever feels good for you today, go ahead and choose that one. One is just being here, just moving along through the process with us. And you'll certainly have benefit from that. Even if you're just watching, you don't even have to tap. This that we do here on this channel is actually called clinical EFT. And what that means is that the techniques that we use here have been clinically studied, verified, published in peer reviewed studies. So you can have some confidence just in that alone. If you aren't sure what to do, you can follow along with me. I tend to be very boring to watch with tapping. I don't go through the spots very much. I don't change a whole lot of what I'm doing other than verbally, because what I want is for you to have your own experience in your own body. So, say like I have my glasses on today. So, tapping here is a little bit more difficult because my frames are a little bit larger. So, I probably won't do this spot, or the inner eye spot. Maybe I'll sneak under here and do this one. But I want you to move to whatever tapping spot, whatever acupoint feels good for you at that time. Do not follow me if your body is saying to do something different. I want you to feel empowered. Okay. Also, you can suggest things in the chat. It can be something simple. It doesn't have to be like your biggest, worst block that you're having. All of it is beneficial. Every single thing. So start with something where you can feel relief, but it not feel taxing to address. Does that make sense? All right. And if what you would like to address is just a little too personal to put out there publicly to everybody, you can always email me. Now, that one will have to wait until the following week, but I can bring it up anonymously. And then I can show you how you can tap on that so that you can address it. Also, I'm happy to answer any and all emails that you send. I am here to support you throughout the week as well through email. And my email, it is at the top of the chat, but just to speak it out loud, it is Fable, FABLE at EFTuniverse.com. Alrighty, and with that, I'm going to say hello, and then we will get grounded and get started tapping. Hello, Mary. Happy Tuesday to you. Hello, Gregory. Happy Tuesday. Hi, Savannah. Oh, I'm grateful that you're here too. Oh, sitting in a park. How beautiful. How wonderful. Hi, Donette. Happy that you're here too. Hi, Tanya. Hi, beautiful Tanya. So glad that you're here. And Pamela, will you share what the points are? I'm new. Absolutely. We'll go through those real fast. Always a great review. So I appreciate you asking. Hello, Hera. Could you include self hatred and self destructive behavior today? Yeah, we can do that for sure. Thank you for bringing that up. Absolutely. And Savannah, hello. Would love help enjoying the present and remembering to have a light heart. I love that. Thank you for that. I appreciate that suggestion. Donette, oh, you look awesome. Thanks for being the wonderful you. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm trying out bangs today. They're not like super high quality. They're fake. It's fake hair. So I feel like it's meh. But anyway, it's fun anyway. Um, Hi, Karen. Hello, Trisha. So glad the blackout in Spain was yesterday and not today. Yeah, I'm glad to know that you have power back. I saw the story come across that came here, in the United States, reached us over here, but I never heard a follow up, like if you got power back. So I'm relieved to hear that for you. Hello, Zarina. Oh, self-hated power suggestion. Yeah. Yeah, we will. Thank you for seconding that motion. We will move forward with that. Love the bangs and glasses. Thank you. Thank you. I have fun. Alrighty. Let's go through the points real fast, and then we'll go ahead and get grounded and get into tapping. Oh, good. Only 12 hours in your case. Good. I'm glad for that. Okay, so the tapping points are called acupoints, and acupoints are very widely, commonly known. Not to say that you have to know them just from the education you've received, but they're very easy to look up. So if you just do a Google search on acupoints, you're going to see over 300 points on the body. Now, any one of those technically should work. But with clinical EFT, we have a set number of points and certain places that we use for it. And then we even kind of branch out into different ones, but the basic ones, and this is good for you to know, but don't feel like you have to memorize them right now to use in the session. Just follow along with me. Okay. Some of them are easier than others to remember exactly where they are. So one is on the side of the hand. If you feel your knuckle, that bottom pinky knuckle right there, it's just right underneath there. Also, usually if you close your fist, there's that little wrinkle from the fin, the fold, the bend in your skin. So the spot is right there. And when you tap, super light, like you were strumming your fingers on a tabletop or something. It does not need to be harder. Harder is not better. So really light is the key. Okay. And then we have the top of the head. If you find the top tip of your ears and then just draw a straight line up, that is the top spot. But you don't have to find it in one finger. You can use your whole hand. So if you're unsure of where to tap and this one feels good to you, this is a really good one because you can use your whole hand. It's very broad. The next three are around the eye. So the very edge of your eyebrow is where you're going to tap right there, just right on that eye bone. The other spot is right in the corner where your eyelids meet, again on that bone. And then the next spot on the eye is if you look into a mirror and you see where your pupils line up, right underneath those on the bone as well. That one is hard for me to reach because of my glasses, so I'm not doing that one because that makes my lenses bounce and then my vision is doing that. So you can use all the points. It is beneficial to use all the points. You can still have an effective session if you don't use all the points. Okay. Next, this is probably one of the harder ones to find exactly, but there's a little hack for this one too. So you look for that inner corner of your collarbone and then drop down just right below that. There's a little, like you kind of swoop into, a little squishy spot underneath the bone. That's where those are. And it is bilateral, meaning on both sides. Or again, you can just use your whole hand because what we're looking for is that vibration going into that spot. And I really want to nerd out and tell you why, because it's really cool science. But we have videos explaining it. Email me if you want me to help you find those videos. I'm more than happy to help you have a depth of understanding on this. Okay, we've got one more point. And this one is on the side of the body over here. If you take just a width of your hand and put it up into the fold of your armpit, it's going to be right underneath there, kind of in the midline of your body. So middle between front and back. So a lot of people naturally reach it. If you say just curl your arms and do this, that's uncomfortable. You can kind of give yourself a self hug. And again, that whole hand and just pat like that. And very, very solid chance you're going to get that. The only other point I will show you, this is one that we use in certain circumstances, but you can use it at any time. If you make a fist and then right in between these two knuckles, you kind of chase that down. Again, there's a little depression that you kind of fall into, a little like whoop. That is another tapping spot. And you can use one finger. You can also line up your whole fingers in that, just that whole groove right there in between those two knuckles. And then you're pretty sure to get that. You can use your whole line of fingertips on this point as well. Okay. All righty. So let's go ahead. Let's see. Well, hello, Alan, Poland. Hi, Nancy. All over the world, tapping across the globe. Absolutely. Let's go ahead and get grounded and then we'll start off with tapping. So, let's do a visualization. I may be trippy with words. I don't have my little plastic braces in right now, and I've gotten used to talking with them. So now talking without them, I may sound a little weird. Let's do a visualization of light. And so go ahead and apply a meaning to the light, whether it's calming, it's peaceful, it's nurturing, it's safety, it's clarity, it's just quiet. Whatever word sounds supportive to where you want to be for tapping. So go ahead and choose a word. And we're going to go ahead and rub our hands together. Just slow. You don't have to be pushing hard. You're just going to give our brain some significance and give it a little bit of help in reaching the state that we want to be in right now. That's the point of all of these suggestions, is we're kind of playing pretend, but then our brain responds in real time with actual chemicals that help us to feel the way that we want to. It's pretty cool. All right, let's go ahead and take a breath. And out. Oh, light, Serena. Thank you for clarifying. Light. All right, and as you are rubbing your hands together, oh, well, Nancy says life. And honestly, if life fits better for you, do life. So whichever. As you are rubbing your hands, imagine that this light that you are looking for, this energy that you are looking to infuse into your body, your spirit, your mind at this moment is being generated as you're rubbing your hands together. You're creating almost like a friction, right? And the outcome is this light, and it's just there, and you can see it as a diffusion, as sparks. It's this orb that's getting bigger. And as you create this, we're going to apply it throughout our bodies. Okay, we're going to apply this energy. So go ahead and take this energy that you created and let's apply it down our arms. So starting up at the shoulder, slowly going down to the elbow, forearm, and off the fingertips. Now let's create a little bit more of that yumminess, shall we? Get a little bit more. And then let's start at the collarbones. We're going to paint that down the front of our bodies, all the way down to our hips. And you can get that side of your bodies too. Okay. And allow that to really soak in the word that you chose. Start to feel that shift occurring in your body. Creating more of this energy. Now let's go straight to our hips and go down our legs. And if you can't quite reach all of your body parts in the way that you're positioned right now, go ahead and just brush as close as you can and just know that that energy going all the way there, all the way there. and see it go all the way down to your toes and feel that shift of this energy. Now, touching down our backs is tricky. So, what we're going to do instead is we're going to gather up all this energy and hold it. Just cup it up. And now we're going to take it and just dump it down our backs. Just let that go down in a nice, soothing waterfall of energy all the way down into the hips and meet up with the energy that's already in our legs. All right, let's go ahead and take a breath while we make our last little batch of energy. So take a breath in and out. And this batch of energy that we've created, we're going to apply at the top of our head. So go ahead and take it. Just gently place that all along your skull and along your face as that feels good, and down your neck. And feel it integrate and connect with all the other places that you've put this energy. How does that feel? Did you like that one? Okay. You can let me know in the chat if you want to. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and start with the self-hatred and self-destructive behavior. Now, those words may or may not connect with you. They're pretty specific. So some other words that can kind of circle around a similar concept, because this would, I would guess, be around not being enough, right? Or being too much, but being wrong in some way. Because when some hatred happens, we've been taught that something about what's here is not okay. It's not acceptable. And even that it deserves to be punished, right? And the self-destructive behavior can be reinforcing that punishment. It can also be a way to try and really tampen down what everyone has said is not okay about us. Quick example, when I have an interest in something, I tend to be good at it pretty quickly. I just pick up on things easily. It's been this great thing for my whole life, except for the fact that I have a sister that's not that way. And she constantly compared herself to me, saying that I made her feel bad. And my parent reinforced that. So I was taught that I hurt people when I excelled. So I had a form of self-punishment to tamper myself from excelling too fast so that I wouldn't hurt other people. And, I was always around someone who was triggered by me being able to do something easily, because it's frustrating when that's not you, but I took it on as that was my problem because that's what I had been taught. So there are a lot of ways that self-destructive behavior can be applied and examined that aren't necessarily a physical hurting yourself or like a really big instance of it, if you don't have that experience in your life. Now, this is something that we will create a foundation for. It is not something that can likely get solved in a one-time tap, but we can definitely reach for places for the brain to start to question where this template is that says, nope, this equals that, and this means that. Okay, that is where we want to start to weaken that correlation in our brains so that we can leave some space for a new understanding to come in. Okay, and those usually feel vulnerable and uncomfortable. So let's go for it and see how it feels for you. Okay, let's go ahead and start tapping. And I will likely stay on this tapping spot. The other one I might go to is here, like this. Okay, I'll probably stay between these two. So if you feel lost, always feel free to look at me and tap along with me. Okay. So go ahead and get into a phrase or a word. It can even be a circumstance where you have felt too much, too little, wrong, rejected, something that brings on a heavy emotion, where you have not been happy with yourself, where you have not had compassion for yourself. As I consider these heavy emotions that I hold against myself, I deeply and completely accept myself, even though these emotions are big and dark and abrasive. I still choose right now to deeply and completely accept myself. Even if, as I say those words right now, I don't like it, it's uncomfortable, I don't believe it, I don't think I deserve it, I choose to hold space to see if I can deeply and completely accept myself. These emotions, these heavy judgments, these strong feelings, these feelings inside my body, these feelings inside my mind, these feelings so deeply woven into my existence. I wonder, has this always been me? Have I always been so terrible, so wrong, so full of these heavy thoughts and feelings? Yes, I always have, and I always will. No, something changed. This has not always been me. I don't know. Whether or not I feel that this has always been true about me, or something changed to make it true. I wonder, is this what I want? Yeah, of course it's what I want. I mean, no, it's not what I want. That's why it's heavy. That's why it's hard. That's why it hurts. I don't want to be this. Even if I still feel it is very true, I don't want it. I wonder, is it possible for this to be different? Yes. No. I don't know. Whether or not right now I believe or know if this can be different for me, I'm open to be curious about it. I'm open to explore and ask questions. I wonder if this were different, would my life be wonderful? Would it solve all of my problems? Or if I truly ask myself what it would feel like if this one thing were different and nothing else, if these feelings were gone but nothing else changed, would I be okay? Or does something else in me speak up? Does something else in me say, that's not safe, or that's not right? Is there some part of me that's willing to bear feeling this way? And not because I think I deserve it, but because I'm protecting something or someone else. I wonder, who would that be? Why would I do that? And maybe I know exactly who, and maybe I know exactly why. But even if I don't, isn't the more important question, is that true? Does me being in pain, does me punishing myself really accomplish what I think it does? Yes. No. I don't know. I don't know. How do I even tell that? I wonder, what are the ways that I have been taught to help someone else, to comfort someone else? If I were to hear a friend, someone I love and care about, describe that to me, would it sound healthy? Or have I been taught to care for others by hurting myself, by giving too much, by keeping quiet, by accepting judgment or blame, by being obedient when it wasn't fair and it wasn't right? Some part of me understands that. Some part of me knows that. Maybe these feelings that I feel, all those little parts of me that are grieving because they want to be heard, because they want to be genuine. They want a chance. No, that can't be it. I don't believe that. There's no parts of me that have been stuffed and smothered and quieted and treated unfairly. Or maybe there are. I don't even know how to begin unwinding that. That sounds like a lot. And I've already been through a lot. I really don't want to have to go through it all again to unwind everything that's happened. That sounds exhausting and miserable. I don't know what to do. Even if right now I know I want things to be different, but I don't see how they possibly could be. I still choose to deeply and completely accept myself. But why? Why would I choose to continue to accept myself? Because I'm not done. I'm not done trying. I'm not done growing. I'm not done reaching for what I want. Even if it's painful, even if it's scary, even if I don't know how to do it yet. Some part of me knows that it exists, and I'm not done looking for it yet. Okay. Okay. But does trying feel safe? If I try to look for these answers, is that safe? Yes. Oh no. No, 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 no. Nope. Nope. No. I don't know. Well, I deserve safe. So I wonder, how can I continue to explore this with curiosity where I feel safe? Because isn't it true? I've been through enough and I'm still carrying a lot. And if there is a way to try something a little bit at a time just to see if it works, that's something I can do. I can commit to that. All right. Okay. Doing it. But what am I doing? hmm. Okay. Well, I do have these feelings about myself, and I'm very familiar with where they are in my body. I wonder, what if I didn't try to get rid of them quite yet? Because that sounds like a lot. I'm just going to give them a friend. If being loved feels foreign, if being safe feels foreign. It's a stranger. I don't know them yet. I don't know who this safe is. Maybe that's the friend that I will introduce to these feelings that I already have in my body. And maybe when I picture this word, whatever word I choose, I actually see it as a person, a friend for me to have. Or I see it as more of an ethereal entity of some kind. Or I just see it as knowledge, some sort of vibrational principle, kind of like an ingredient to this people soup that I am. And maybe the way that I introduce this new thing into what I already feel is I start with conversation. And I just think, what would safety, true safety, say to my self hatred? If it could speak to it, what would it say? If they didn't know each other at all, complete strangers, curious about each other, what would they share? What perspectives could they gain from each other? This is okay for me to do. I can do this. And maybe as I begin to become familiar with what I do want and gain perspectives, both of what I currently have and don't want, and the perspectives of what I'm looking to receive and do want, I can find common ground. I can find safer, easier understandings to become what I'm looking for. These heavy emotions, these heavy judgments, my new friends, my new conversations, my new understanding. And as I allow myself to become familiar and curious about these concepts of what I want, I deeply and completely accept myself. Okay, go ahead and pause and take a deep breath. Nicely done. So, if during that you were sighing, relaxing, crying, yawning, stretching, you felt sleepy, you felt energized, all of those are signs that what you were focusing on consciously became agreeable to your subconscious brain and there was a connection made there. And if you think back to how you felt before we started tapping and how you feel now, is there a difference? And those are two really great signs that you were able to start shifting that template in your brain, and it will continue to support and shift even though you're no longer tapping on it. So, congratulations and good job. All right, let's jump right into enjoying the present, remembering to have a light heart. I think that's a perfect thing to tap on. And that's, we've got I have time to do this one more. So, oh, okay. Hello, Anita in Switzerland. Oh, and a few more. Oh, Tanya, you liked it. Thank you for letting me know. Um, oh, Zarina, thank you. Light is really low in your video. Yeah, not you, but the room. Yeah. Sorry, my eyes are sensitive right now, so it is intentionally. But I'm sorry if you're having trouble seeing me. I tried to find a good medium. Um, oh, hello, beloved John. Thank you for your words. Really appreciate that. Donut liberating. Yay. Oh, I'm so glad. And Pamela, good. You're feeling more kindness. Wonderful. Oh, tears and yawning. Perfect. Deep and powerful. Yes. Good job. And when I say good job, I really mean it because I can offer you all the words in the world and I can't make your brain shift. That is a permission and an empowerment that literally only you have. So when you feel those shifts, it's definitely a collaboration and I really mean it. Good job. Okay. I'm scrolling back up to because I don't remember, even though I just read it. Okay, enjoying the present and remembering to have a light heart. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into that. I'm going to tap just a few moments, kind of allow ourselves to transition from that. We went pretty deep into that tap. So allowing yourself to kind of regulate again to this moment. You can do that by tapping and not even saying anything because this is still stimulating the subconscious brain to pay attention to your surroundings. And so it's still taking in present moment data and it can help just kind of um, rebalance to this moment. Okay. So as we tap into enjoying the present and remembering to have a light heart. Okay, I'm laughing because where I'm going to go with this first is super sarcastic and a little bit sassy. So trust me on this, okay? Because when I think of the present moment and having a light heart, I've got a lot of pushback. And if you don't know what pushback is, it's where you say, think positively. And then your brain's like, there's nothing to be positive about. Um, there's another term for it in EFT, but having that kind of recoil, that um, stubbornness and rejection of the positive thought, right? The way we approach that in EFT is we lean into it. So if there's a negative thought to a positive suggestion, then we tap into that. So I'm going to give you what I felt. It might be relatable. We'll see. Okay. As I consider in this moment how much I would really love to enjoy this present moment and really want to hold space, to have a lighter heart more often. I deeply and completely accept myself. Even if right now I'm not very good at remembering to go with the flow and enjoy this moment, I choose to hold space to do a better job. As I choose right now to work on my skill set of being more happy about this present moment and having more trust in that happiness. I deeply and completely accept myself. All right, here comes that sassy negativity. Oh, do I? Well, I don't feel lighthearted and I don't feel enjoyment at all in the things that are happening presently. Outside of this community that I'm currently a part of, which is beautiful and wonderful, the world is going to crap. Scary things are happening everywhere. And it doesn't sound like things are going to get better before they get really, really worse. And I don't know where I fall in that. I don't know if I'm prepared. I don't know if I've got people who will help me. I don't know if I'm strong enough to help the people that I love and care for. I don't know what resources may or may not be there for me. I'm scared and I'm angry. And I don't really know who to blame. I blame myself for not understanding politics or the science of the situations of our world right now. I blame others for knowing and taking advantage of it, for lying and cheating, fear mongering. I don't know what's real. So, how can I possibly enjoy this moment and have a light heart? Whew, that is a lot. And even if I am feeling some or all of that, I still choose to dedicate myself to working on enjoying the moment and having a light heart. Hmm, interesting. Why? Why would I do that with all of the things that I just said, that I just expressed, which are true? Why would it even matter to feel things like enjoyment and lighter at heart? As I consider the impact of what I want, despite how things are, I deeply and completely accept myself. Well, aside from all of the overspoken, easy answers that I could say, isn't it true that the impact of something as small and simple as this could be immeasurably good? Aren't there so many stories that are true stories that have unbelievably positive outcomes because someone was stubborn back? They were facing horribly stubborn, hard situations, and they chose to be stubborn back, but not stubborn in the same way. Stubborn in what they wanted, stubborn in what they believed, and it mattered. I wonder, is it possible for this to matter? For me to enjoy things, for me to not worry so much and feel lighter? Could that actually matter? Yes? No. I don't know. Okay, well, if I don't know, what could I do to try it out? What curiosity can I have? What little experiment could I run to find out my answer? What could I agree to and really, truly feel? Because while I would love to just say I will be 100% absorbed and enjoying every moment and just feel lighthearted no matter what, and everything's just going to roll off my back with ease, that's probably not very likely. Love it. That's probably not an easy first step. So, what would be an easy first step? Hmm, I wonder. I wonder. My first step, my curious engagement. Well, I could put parameters around how much time or energy I spend on something. Isn't it true that when I feel heavy or not light in heart, it's because I'm worrying, I'm concerned. And it's okay to be concerned. That's normal. But what if I asked myself, is this helping? Or do I just think I'm showing the proper weight of the situation by adding to the concern? Ooh, adding to the concern. That's not what I want to do. That is the opposite of what I want to do. So, how do I choose differently? Maybe I allow myself a short amount of time to acknowledge it because that's fair. Concern is real. I can acknowledge that. But what if then I say, can I do anything about it right now? And if my answer is no, then I ask, okay, at what point could I do something? And then I have it in my mind. That's when I can take action. So until then, now what? Maybe that's when I can set things down and I can say, I'm going to need my energy when I engage. So now is when I fortify myself. Now is when I do what brings strength, what I know I can do. And maybe that is I go take a bath. Maybe it's I call a friend. Maybe I comment a really beautiful poem or saying or picture on social media, something for other people to enjoy, to feel good about. Maybe that's how I contribute. Maybe that's what being lighthearted means for me. I add light to my heart, and I add light to the hearts of others. It doesn't mean I don't have to care, because I do care. But maybe it means I get to care in a different way, because I can't solve everything and I can't approach everything head on. But maybe I can add light to my heart and to others. Okay. All right. That sounds good. I like that. That might even help me enjoy the moment more. Huh. Well, look at that. It would feel more enjoyable if I could allow myself the permission to focus on the things that feel good to focus on. And while it may be true, I do have to focus on concerning things or things that have tension sometimes in some ways. Isn't it also true that even within those, I could explore possible chances to feel different, to offer different? And maybe it doesn't change anything anywhere else except for me. But doesn't that allow me to hold on to just a little bit more joy, more energy, more positivity, and add it to that light in my heart? I do believe that other people are looking to do this too. And isn't it true that if I could give a little bit of light and someone gives me a little bit of light, there could be a whole lot of light going around and joy. So even if things are complicated and heavy and scary and unsure, it is still okay for me to have confidence in who I am and what I'm capable of, and to trust that it has value, maybe even more so right now. And that leaning into that is maybe exactly what is needed. Light of heart, the light in my heart. and I deeply and completely accept myself. Okay, go ahead and stop tapping and take a deep breath. How does that feel? I know we are right at time. We're going to take just a moment to consider how we felt right when we started tapping. When you thought about, see, I want to say the exact words, enjoying the present and remembering to have a light heart. How did you feel towards those words then? How do you feel towards them now? Is it different? And were you having any of those other signs happening as you were tapping? Because if so, you again made that connection. Your subconscious brain said, heck yeah, let's shift to this template. And now that's going to continue to grow and strengthen, even though you're not tapping on it right in this moment anymore. So good job. And thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for your comments today, for your support for each other, for these suggestions. This felt like a really great session. I mean, they all are. And I love every single one of them. But this one just felt poignant for some reason. So to whoever that is that's sharing that energy with me, I feel ya. I'm really glad that you were here. Thank you so much for being here this week. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your week. I will be posting a video on Friday. Always feel free to email me with any questions regarding anything surrounding tapping. I'm here for you. And I hope that I get to see you next week. But if I don't, know that you are thought of, you are loved, and I will see you when I can see you. Take care. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Bye.